Class society and the state. 1. The state as the product of the irreconcilability of class antagonisms. What is now happening to Marx's doctrine has, in the course of history, often happened to the doctrines of other revolutionary thinkers and leaders of oppressed classes struggling for emancipation. During the lifetime of great revolutionaries, the oppressing classes relentlessly persecute them and treat their teachings with malicious hostility, the most furious hatred, and the most unscrupulous campaign of lies and slanders. After their death, attempts are made to convert them into harmless icons, to canonize them, so to say, and to surround their names with a certain halo for the, quote, consolation, end quote, of the oppressed classes, and with the object of duping them, while at the same time emasculating the revolutionary doctrine of its content, vulgarizing it and blunting its revolutionary edge. At the present time, the bourgeoisie and the opportunist in the labor movement concur in this, quote, revision, end quote, of Marxism. They omit, obliterate, and distort the revolutionary side of its doctrine, its revolutionary soul. They push to the foreground and extol what is or seems acceptable to the bourgeoisie. All the social chauvinists are now, quote, Marxist, end quote, parentheses, don't laugh, end parentheses. And more frequently, German bourgeois professors, erstwhile specialists in the extermination of Marxism, are speaking on the, quote, national German, end quote, Marx, who, they aver, trained the labor unions which are so splendidly organized for the purpose of conducting a predatory war. In such circumstances, in view of the incredibly widespread nature of the distortions of Marxism, our first task is to restore the true doctrine of Marx on the state. For this purpose, it will be necessary to quote at length from the works of Marx and Engels. Of course, long quotations will make the text cumbersome and will not help to make it popular reading, but we cannot possibly avoid them. All, or at any rate, all the most essential passages in the works of Marx and Engels on the subject of the state must necessarily be given as fully as possible in order that the reader may form an independent opinion of the totality of views of the founders of scientific socialism and on the development of those views, and in order that their distortion by the now prevailing, quote, Trotskyism, end quote, may be documentarily proved and clearly demonstrated. Let us begin with the most popular of Engels' works, Der Ursprung der Familie, des Privateigenthums und des Staates, the sixth edition of which was published in Stuttgart as far back as 1894. We must translate the quotations from the German originals, as the Russian translations, although very numerous, are for the most part either incomplete or very unsatisfactory.